Dear students, welcome to my first class on Module 4, Vector Space and Orthogonality. In this module, we're gonna see about vector space, vector subspace, rank by using echelon form, linear combinations and linear span, linear independence and linear dependence, basis and dimensions, the four fundamental subspaces, rank nullity theorem, linear transformations, orthogonality, projections, and Gram-Schmidt orthogonal process. To know about vector space, we have to learn a few basic concepts of linear algebra. So in this lecture video, we're gonna see about the binary operations concept, what is groups, what is rings, and what is fields. And finally, we will be learning the application with respect to the linear algebra. Okay, what is linear algebra? The linear algebra is a branch of mathematics or a part of algebra that deals with the theory of system of linear equations, matrices, vector space, and linear transformations. Okay, why we need linear algebra? The linear algebra is the foundational blocks of engineering with data processing requirements. So from this linear algebra, we can able to develop a better understanding for machine learning and deep learning algorithms and not to treat them as black boxes. So with this help of linear algebra, we can able to choose a proper hyperparameters and we can develop a better models. Algebraic structures. A non-empty set G which consisting of one or more binary operation is called an algebraic structure. Suppose star is a binary operation. This star may be addition or multiplication or subtraction or division, any operations. Okay, so now I'm taking an operation star on a non-empty set G. Then G comma star is an algebraic structures. The properties of binary operations. The first property is closure property. For all a comma b belongs to the non-empty set G, then a star b belongs to G. So with this condition we can say that G is closed with respect to the operation star. The property number 2 is associative property. For all a comma b comma c belongs to the non-empty set G, then a star b into b star c is equal to a star b into star c. With this condition, we can say that associative law holds good with respect to the operation star. And this condition is always true for the operations addition and multiplications. But the case of subtraction, it is not holds good. Like for example, I am taking a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3 and c is equal to 5, and in the place of star I am going to use minus symbol. So like after simplifying this, I got the equation like 2 minus 3 into minus 3 is not equal to 2 minus of 3 minus 5. So hence we can say that the minus is not associative. The third property is commutative property. For all a comma b belongs to G, then a star b is equal to b star a. So with this condition we can say that star on G is said to be commutative. What is groups? A non-empty set G which consisting of one binary operation star is called group, and if star satisfy the following axioms. So with the following axioms we can say the set G comma star is a group. The first one is closure law. For all a comma b belongs to G, then a star b must belong to the non-empty set G. So with this condition we can say the stars on G satisfies closure law. Second one is associative law. For all a comma b comma c belongs to the non-empty set G, then a star b into b star c is equal to a star b into star c. So with this condition we can say that the associative law holds good with respect to the operation star. third property is identity law. So to prove this identity law, I'm choosing an element E belongs to the non-empty set G, then A star E is equal to A is equal to E star A. So like after multiplying the element A with the E, it won't change. With this condition, we can say that the identity law holds good with respect to the operation star. Inverse law. Each element of G having the inverse, that is, I'm taking an element A from the non-empty set G, then an element B from G also I'm taking, then A star B will be equal to the identity element E, it will be equal to B star A. So hence we can say that B acts as an inverse of A, so I can take B is equal to A inverse. That is, A star A inverse will be equal to E, which will be equal to A inverse star A. So like after multiplying this element, we are getting an identity element. So with these four properties or four axioms, we can say that the given set G comma star is a group. Abelian group or commutative group. A group with commutative property will be known as an abelian group. So like a group I'm taking, if the group satisfies a commutative property also, we can say those kind of group is an abelian group or commutative group. That is, for all A comma B belongs to the non-empty set G, then A star B is equal to B star A, then star and G is said to be commutative. Next is rings. A non-empty set R is called ring if the following axioms are satisfied. The first axiom is R is an abelian group under addition. Second one is R is semi-group under multiplication. The third one is the distributive law must holds good. That is, A dot into B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. And A plus B dot C is equal to A dot C plus B dot C. So with these three conditions, we can say the non-empty set R is called a ring. Next is field. A commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element gives their multiplicative inverse is known as a field. That is, F comma plus comma dot is a field. So this field having two binary operations, that is addition and multiplication, with the following axioms also. So we can say that F comma plus is an abelian group. Second one is F naught comma dot is an abelian group. Third one is the distributive law holds good with respect to addition and the multiplication also. So with all these three axioms, we can say the given F is a field. Now, what are the applications of linear algebra? The first application of linear algebra to solve the problems on traffic flow. By using the Gauss-Jordan elimination method, we can solve the traffic flow problems. The second application is in solving the problems based on electrical circuits, like we can solve the problems on Kirchhoff's law and Ohm's law by using the concept of linear algebra. The next application in data science, the linear algebra having the wide range of application in the problems based on data science also. Fourth application, the digital image processing. Fifth one, to solve the problems in eigenvalues and eigenvectors, we can make use of linear algebra. Next, in cryptography also, we can make use of linear algebra. Next, in genetics. And finally, in the machine learning problems, we can use linear algebra. Okay, in the next lecture video, we'll be starting the actual concept vector spaces, and we will discuss some problems on vector space. Thank you.